Okay, so this is the Optima workspace. I think I showed you already that this will be our main playing field. And you can see here, we have folders. The Start Here folder has two files, have two components. The first component is that we have the course description here. And the course description, you can see that you don't have to memorize the code of this code, which is of this course. The code of the course is always very full of letters and numerals. Don't have to worry about it. But the aim of this course is that I expect that by the end of this course, when we finish it, you will be having some idea or some encounters with the theoretical foundation of business management. It's very important that even though you are very practical people, but it's also vital that you are able to benchmark your practices to some established facts, theories, benchmark. I call it anchoring. It's like a ship. Ship is sailing is a practice, right? But you should know that where you can anchor the ship. Anchoring of the ship is very important. So here the anchoring is the theory. And for me, sometimes the students say that, I'm a very practical person. I don't like theories. For me, theory is not something lofty, Einsteinish or Newtonish thing. For me, theory is the common sense. Can we practice without common sense? Can we? No. It means we follow theory. We feel reluctant to admit it, but we all follow theories. So for me, common sense is the theory. So it's very important that you look and you are able to relate or benchmark your practices with some well-established concepts. Having the reliable and valid information in the modern world is a big challenge. In fact, I was discussing with one of my students some time ago. I told him that in my time or in my previous time of my predecessors, we used to have the problem of shortage of information. Whereas this generation, people, when you see yourself as a student, you also have a problem. And that problem is plenty. The problem of plenty. We used to have the problem of paucity, shortage of information, where to get an article from. No Wikipedia, no Google, nothing. But you people have the problem, what to have and what not to have. So for you, it's a big challenge, what not to study. What information is reliable and what is having some doubts, reliability of information is. So validity and the reliability of information is very important. And even in the real life, you can see the fake news. Yeah, we never had this syndrome called fake news. We will hardly have a news. The old-fashioned newspaper and the official news bulletin, that's it. But these days, we have this problem of plenty. It's called paradox of plenty, right? That's something very important for a researcher. It's very important that because you are making life-changing decisions of the company, what we call as strategic decision making. To make that decisions, you must have reliable and trustworthy facts and figures. Okay, that's something we will study in this course. What are the real life problems and the development needs and what type of methods we should. You can't solve every problem with the same method. Okay, so sometimes the choice of your research methods depend upon the choice of the problem. Okay, if I want to see the stock market performance, it means that I have to have some quantitative data. But if the keyword in your topic is welfare, well-being, these are very loosely defined words. So you first have to use some qualitative methods and establish what exactly you mean by well-being or welfare, because they are not, it's a very qualitative phenomenon, right? When I say, what is welfare? Well, I can say that somebody can agree that GDP of a country determines welfare. But you can counter me that, no, that's only a number. What if the GDP of the country is very high, but the GDP is not evenly divided among people? There's a lot of gap between rich and poor people. Okay, that makes us find out some new method which justify the word welfare. So the method, when you take a thesis topic, you can't just have a premeditated research method. Your method should justify your topic. Okay, so that's something we shall study. And then writing a scientific report is very important. We must produce a piece of what we call as academic writing. It's a bit boring, to be honest, but it has a certain fixed structure. The reason we have fixed structure is that even though there is some flexibility within, but if you look at the overall, the big picture of the scientific writing, it looks very uniform and structured. The reason is that we can compare a study with another study if the structure is uniform. If we have a very heterogeneous structured reports, then it's like comparing apples with banana and oranges. So we have to have the same parameters of comparison. That's why the structure of the report is very important. I would show you the Young structure of writing as well. Then we study the statistical methods a little bit, not too much into it. I will not do the calculation part in this course, but I would show you how those numerical figures look like and what kind of interpretation we make out of those. Because I believe that the numbers speak, we have to understand their language. The numbers, the calculations are not an end to itself. The interpretation of those numbers and drawing some conclusion and having an impact on your decision making is very crucial as well. That we shall study. We shall study some electronic databases as well if you are interested in some quantitative research. And of course, we will have some brief ideas about the conceptual and philosophical, even though I will not tie you too much to the, well, I will discuss many conceptual things with you, but I would not go too much into philosophical issues, because when you write thesis, there are many philosophies which you don't even need. So why should we learn them? Yeah. But the concepts are very important. We shall have very common concepts. We shall have a lot of discussion about it. But I would be very careful when I enter in philosophical world. Try not to touch those things if not needed, because we have not too much time here. The course material, the book which I recommend you strongly is to read this Saunders, Lewis, and Thornhill's book. It's a fantastic book, Research Methods for Business Students. It's a very well-written, step-by-step, and I'm very convinced that we have many copies in the library of this book. Okay. These are some additional writings, second, third, and fourth. I don't insist to you, but for the first book, I strongly recommend you that you should have. And I have a strong inclination that they also have this book in their in the eBrary as well, in the electronic database as well. So you must search for it. Okay. Plus, one more thing is that you should have some articles. I'm not time that I gave I provided some research articles by myself to the students. But sometime when somebody provides you the articles, you may not feel very comfortable with it. So I strongly recommend you that you should have at least one research article, one good classic research article in your field. Okay? You should have access to it. Okay? So one research paper, article, you should have it with you. If you find the article by yourself, hoover, great. If you don't know which article to find, please contact me. I can help you. And if you know the article, but you can't find it, even then you tell me, I can still help you to getting that article. For example, let's say you are very much interested in some article which you know that is a really, really, really must read article in my field, but you can't access it, right? In that case, you can inform me and I will try my best to get access to it with my some strategic, some special knowledge, to some access to some special databases. Okay, but if you can find by yourself, nothing like that. Because one of the item of the assessment is review of literature. And as you can see here that on 18th of January 2020, it's your day. Your day means I will not teach you anything on that day. By the way, this is the last day of the course. Okay, Sunday, not tomorrow, but the next Sunday. Oh, sorry, Saturday. I'm sorry, Saturday. Yeah, Friday, Saturday. Yeah. So that day is the day of assessments, and the first thing which you will be assessed based on is the review of literature. So the way you can do it is that you can make a group of 2 or 3 people. If you don't want to make a group and you want to have a solo flight, perfectly fine. But if you have one article and you think that 2 people can share, they can have better ideas, they can discuss, they can negotiate, and then they can make a good presentation based on it, nothing like that. But if you can't do it and you want to do it by yourself, of course you can do it. And what you will do, and this will be carrying your 30% of assessment, not you, but there are some students who are following this course fully virtually as well. Okay, so this paragraph, in the rarest of rare cases, can be applicable on you as well. And what you will do, basically, you will choose an article. I'll come back to this paragraph a bit later. You will be choosing, let's say you have a group of 2 or 3 students. You pick up an article either by your choice. By the way, even if you pick an article by your choice, you have to show it to me, because I would check, does it fit according to the research parameters or not? Like, for example, if you bring some article from ULE, that's not a research article. Okay, so I have to check that this article which you are going to review is fulfilling all the criteria to be called as a research article. All right, so whatever article, if you choose, you please show it to me. Okay, the best thing, how will you show it to me? Well, you can email me, by the way. And also in the Optima, there's a possibility of sending the private message. If you don't want to share that article with the others, of course, you can send me the private message through Optima. But if you think that, oh, all right, no problem, who cares if somebody sees it? Well, what is to be so secretive about it? In that case, discussion forum would be our in-house Facebook, basically. So all the messages which I deliver publicly, which I direct to everybody, I would be using discussion forum. Okay, discussion forum, everything is seen by everybody. It's a common message. Like, I welcomed you today, then I sent you 2 YouTube videos about literature review. One is my recording, the other is by Professor Hastings. She definitely is great. So that we would watch together at some stage. So if you want to give me some information which you think is not so confidential, or if you want to show me the article which you would be reviewing and you have no problem, if other can see, you can start a new topic here, new topic, give a title, and write a message that, Shab, this is the article, is it okay if I take it? All right, and here you can do the attachment and then publish it. So that's it. Then I would quickly have a look. All right, this article is great, take it. Or if this article, I think you should try something else, this is not so good. Okay, so that you can do. But if you don't want to show it to me, to the others, Of course, you can email me and attach the file. No problem. It's totally up to you. So this review, which you will be doing on 17th of January, Saturday, sorry, 18th of January, okay? This should be including these components, and this is exactly is our syllabus. You know what I mean? Today, tomorrow, and next Friday, we will be focusing all our discussion on these things. So whatever you study here in the class, you will see in your article, extract the information, write in your own words, make a PowerPoint presentation, and then, because your presentation is on 18th, yeah? But on 17th, just before midnight, you can see that there is an assignment folder here. Yeah, it's here. And the name of the return box is review of literature, which is here. I can show you review of literature. Here, you can upload your PowerPoint presentation. Only PowerPoint presentation. No Word, nothing. No original paper. If you want to add, no problem. Nothing stops you from doing it. But I only require the PowerPoint presentation. We'll discuss more what to do, how the PowerPoint presentation should look like. But this is your area. And if you're doing as a group or a pair, you don't have to, not everybody has to send the same file. Only one person can take the responsibility. And for example, let's say you two are in a pair, in a group. So one of you can send, upload, but in the PowerPoint file, which you upload, write names of both so that I know that who is your partner in crime. All right. Otherwise, I would be saying, where is the other person? Or if I receive the two emails, the two files, the same thing, it's just a kind of clutter, waste. So we go back to the start here. Yeah. This word limit is not applicable on you. You know why? Because this word limit, this 0.4, I think I should have clarified it. This 0.4 is not valid for you. This 0.4 is only valid for those people who are following this course fully virtually. There are some people, believe me, not only you, but there's some other people also following this course fully virtually. This is for them, okay? For you, I only need the PowerPoint presentation, okay? The question is, how many slides? I think if you look at that, research background / problem, 1 slide, research motivation, 1 slide, research questions / objective, 3, review of literature, 2, 5, methodology, maybe 1, 6, findings, 1. You can even combine findings, well, 7. Okay, conclusions and future research suggestions, 1, 8 slides. Not more than 8 slides. And 1 title slide, okay? On the title slide, you write down which article is yours, okay? And make some own title that what you have done. For example, you can see that, let's say the original title is the challenges in esports governance. That is the original title. And then you can make another title for your own, review of literature highlighting the governance issues in esports, something like that. So that I know that this is not the original title, but this is your, this is the title of your own review, right? And then at the bottom, you can write down the names that, okay, I'm the author, and then this is these 2 people or 1 person is my co-author. That's it. And then the 8 more slides. So altogether 9 slides should be enough, I think. Maybe even less. Okay. So that's your, I'm sorry, I think I'm in the wrong point. Yeah, so this should be done. This will take around 10 minutes presentation. And then afterwards, you'll be having 2-3 minutes discussion. We shall discuss about it. Okay. Yes.
Can we ask some advice for you, or is the purpose that?
I like your question. Your question is that you have an article in some other course.
I don't want to use the same, but I just want to know that when I found a new article, and maybe I will.
Resuming it. Yeah. So this should be around 10 minutes, 8-10. I will not look at the watch, believe me. But that's only my suggestion, that it should be around 7-8. I think when two people are presenting and you have so many things to say, it will easily cross 7-8 minutes, very easily. But 10 should be the maximum limit, I think, followed by some discussion. Of course, the deadline is 17th of January by 11 p.m. That's all about the first thing, which is 30%. And then afterwards, we shall start research proposal. Research proposal. Okay. Research proposal is very interesting. It's interesting because it's based on either what you are doing now, or you have to take a prototype situation that what if you do? I can take a pause when I complete this sentence, because here you will be a little bit confused, which is a good thing. It's better to get confused now than later. That this task, part B, is carrying 30% of your total grades, marks, whatever you call it. This is based on the assumption that you are either writing a thesis already. Number two, you are almost ready to write. You have done some homework, some scrap work you've done in your head, and you're almost on a takeoff stage. Or third, you have no idea. But just assume, what if? In business studies, we have a very important analysis called what if analysis. What if horses could fly, how high they would? What if, this is called, a what if is a little bit informal expression. The more formal expression is called scenario analysis or sensitivity analysis. Scenario analysis. So scenario is that you are writing a thesis. If you're writing a thesis, just cook up some topic, just prepare some topic based on, because that's the reason I asked you when you were introducing yourself that what is the field of study you're interested in? Are you writing some thesis? Okay, so you can prepare some article. What if you write thesis based on it? I know that some of you have very strong opinions, like somebody said about non-profit organization, NPAs, non-profit, and then sports e-governance, and then some corporate social responsibility. I know, yeah, about the well-being, about the work environment, right? So I know somebody some of you have said some of your likings about research. So make some kind of tentative ideas about the thesis, and those ideas you present. Of course, I'm fully aware that that will not be the 24-carat great work of research, but that's what I want from you. I don't want you. Rather, I will give more marks to you if your article, your presentation is pointing out a very interesting research topic, but because of, by the virtue of your unpreparedness or lack of knowledge at this stage, is able to generate a lot of discussion in the class. That's what I want from you. I don't want fully prepared, great piece of scientific writing. Okay, so don't feel scared of it. For me, I would be very happy that you come up with the very raw ideas, very raw thoughts, everything you are planning. But in your presentation, when you come here, you are able to justify something. I could see that, yes, you are not totally lost. Even though you haven't done your research yet, you haven't even started. You are not even aware of your topic fully. But I can see that whatever points you present, that is with the conviction, and that makes sense. And wherever there's a weakness, you will be not, your marks will not be cut. You will be given suggestions. Okay, so I would take your weaknesses positively. I want to see those positive problems. Okay, so how well you can present your ideas will be the main criteria. Okay, so I'm fully aware that most of you are not in the thesis stage yet. Okay, so I would be very sympathetic to you when you are making presentation. Okay, make sense? The question is that, how do you know findings when you haven't done the research? How do you know conclusions when you haven't done the research? How do you give the suggestions when you haven't done your own research? It's a mistake. I'll improve it. Your research proposal, I will not even call it a research proposal. I will call it a research skeleton. It's not a research proposal. It's not a research plan, because you are in a very, I know you're in a very early stage. Some of you are just at the starting line. It should only include your research topic, theme. I will not even call it a topic, a theme. Okay, and what is your ambition to achieve? What do you want to? What are your research motivation? What do you think you will be studying? And if you can bring a little bit of shades of review of literature, just to me, if you are able to, this thing which this is not required, you put a cross here. Okay, I will delete and make a new file. I just want to stop here. Yeah. Since we have almost 10 days left, 8 days at least, yeah. So maybe you can read some good article as a review. In fact, you can use the first task article, the review of literature article. If that article you choose as a review is matching with the interest of your future research, then some of the elements of your previous task A, which is purely a review of literature, you can bring some dimensions of that article here, if it is matching your interest. Okay. I don't want to see any methodology. That's too premature. You definitely don't have findings. You definitely have no conclusions, no suggestions. So the buck should stop here. That's it. And as I said before, here I want to see how well you can present, basically. Can you back up your ideas? You can have any random topic of research, but can you really support it in the audience? That's what I want from you. I take a pause, and finally, you'll be having the exam the same day. It's a 1 hour long exam, and the questions which you will be seeing in the exam would be taken straight away from the lecture slides. So I don't want to keep any suspense. Okay? So it's not that you have to read so many books to be comfortable. So whatever we cover in the 3 days is your syllabus. All right. And by the end of 3rd day, I would know where I stopped. So I would say, okay, this is the syllabus for the whole course. That's it. So the exam, the topics, whatever we cover by 7:30 p.m. on next Friday is your syllabus. And then we stop. So then you review it next day. I will give you some half an hour, 1 hour break where you can have lunch and also have a look at your notes, and then you present it, write it down in the exam. That's it. It's not a rocket science. This is the usual criteria. I shouldn't even show it to you. This is a schedule. We'll be meeting in 149 tomorrow, but next week we'll be in 148. Okay. And if you have any questions, if anything, you can email me or you can contact me just the way you want. Okay. I strongly suggest you that the article which you will be reviewing next week, you should choose it soonish so that you can make use of my presence tomorrow. Okay. So finding one article in your field, come on, it's not a big thing. You can find an article, and moreover, you will be doing as a pair or as a group, 3 people or 2 people. So it's not a big deal at all. Well, you can do it all by yourself as well. But if you are doing it as a group of 2, as a pair of 2, as a group of 3, then finding one research article is not a rocket science. You can easily find out. And if you still find any problem, let me know. Okay. And as I said before, if you have an article in mind, but you don't know, you don't have access to it, ask me, I can find it for you. Okay. Any questions, queries, comments? Does it sound scary? Is all clear? So you have 30% based on a review, 1 article to be reviewed by 3 people max, not 4, 3 max. You present it, and then your own thoughts as if you research it, and then finally the exam, which will be based on purely lecture slides. No suspenses. Okay, and your syllabus would be where we stop next Friday at around 7 o'clock, 7:30, then we finish. That's it. Okay. Now I think it's a time to give you a break. And when you come back, then we start our real show.
Was it 10 minutes?